Hello and welcome to my channel, Raising Then Raising. Today I'd like to talk about three problems that we have that are developing and will probably become more and more prevalent as time goes on. First off, it's great that we're recovering from Hurricane Helene and, everything that is moving forward with that, but this is bringing in some problems that really need to be considered. First off, with the big push of the emergency of, oh my goodness, we need to save as many people as we can being over, a lot of people are going to be leaving. So, for this first month or so, we're going to have a lot of help. The second month, we're going to start losing people. And then the third month and beyond, if someone comes here, they're going to expect to be paid. And, showing up to begin with is going to be a logistical frustration that will prevent a lot of people from even being interested because it's no longer an emergency. We can already see a lot of the emergency services leaving. So at this point, the easier help to find is going to start going away. That is the first problem. It's going to create its own difficulties, and as water and power and food become more accessible, people having an income and being able to work and so forth is going to become more and more of an issue. Who's going to get paid? How are they going to get paid? And what's going to happen to rebuild the roads? It's no longer an emergency, so especially the non-main roads. It's like snow plowing. The snow plows always hit the main roads and then they work their way out. Well, same thing with emergency services in this circumstance. We have the major stuff fixed, and once, water and power is above 90% fixed and serving everyone, the interest in it will begin going down. So that leads into the next problem: fraud. People are going to say, hey, I want to get my road fixed. I want to get my house fixed. And others will show up and say, hey, I can do that for you. And they'll take your money and they'll leave. They might do a little bit. They might do enough to make it look like they're going to start, and then they'll just disappear. Please have a contract. Do not pay cash. And most especially, do not pay in advance. Please. That is the number one way for things to be ripped off. Right behind that is have a good contract. At this point in time, find someone who's willing to look it over. Even if you have to pay a lawyer, find someone to look it over. Because if you do not have a good legal and binding and honest, especially honest, contract, please don't pay any money. Please. That is the number one problem that is always following up on these things. The third problem is just supplies and work. There are going to be people who will do honest jobs and will try to help, but with the lessening of the number of bodies, it's going to be hard to find people who will do the work. So, moving forward, we have a great interest in preventing fraud and theft, and we're going to have a big interest in finding people who are willing to work and to help and to begin repairing. And all of this revolves around now that the emergency is done, the big push of just getting people here to do stuff is going to turn into getting people here who can earn a living and be able to pay for, food and housing and stuff, which is going to create its own problems. So please be very careful with people who are going to say that they're going to help you. Because if they don't help you and you lose money, you have your life savings taken because you didn't find out more about who is asking to help. Unfortunately, scams happen on a regular basis, most especially in emergency circumstances and places where repairs and rebuilding are desperately needed. We're going into winter. It's already been freezing at night. How far will this go? Please don't take the first offer, and check on people as heavily as you can. Fraud and theft is going to happen. Protect yourself, please. I hope that everything gets put back together. I honestly do. It's going to take major work in some places because of how much damage was done, but we don't need to have people come in and make promises, take money, and leave. Do not pay in advance, and do your best to find people who are going to pay or request reasonable amounts. Thank you for your time, and I certainly hope that we get over this quickly.